State Deputy Governor sworn in. Kidnapped Kaduna worshippers regain freedom after 3 months in captivity. Central Bank Governor sacks 8 directors, 32 orders. Senegal's Prime Minister Sonko officially takes office. Thank you for joining us. My name is Felicity Ezewuike. Let's begin by telling you that the newly appointed Deputy Governor of Edo State, Omobayo Godwins, was sworn in on Monday by the Chief Judge, Daniel Okungbowa. The new Deputy Governor is an engineer with a track record of progressive professional experience in the oil and gas sector. In his inaugural speech, Godwins thanked his principal, Governor Godwin Obaseki, and the leadership of the People's Democratic Party for finding him worthy of the appointment. Omobayo replaced Philip Shuaibu, who was earlier impeached by the State House of Assembly on Monday morning. Meanwhile, the former Deputy Governor Shuaibu has reacted to his impeachment by the House.
Members of Edo State House of Assembly who have chosen to forsake their oath of office and participate in this charade, I say this: history will judge harshly for your betrayal of the people who elected you to represent their interests. But know this: you do not have the power to silence the voice of justice and truth. I call upon the judiciary and all relevant authorities to intervene and uphold the principles of justice and fairness. Let the truth prevail over lies. Let the rule of law triumph over lawlessness. I am confident that the legal system will vindicate me and expose the sham that has been orchestrated against me. I want to reaffirm my commitment to the people of Edo State, to the values that bind us together as a collective. I will not be deterred or intimidated by those who seek to subvert our democracy.
It's been a busy day in Edo State. To give us more perspective, I'm joined by New Central's correspondent, Bernard Akede, and political analyst, Jide Ojo. Gentlemen, thank you very much for speaking with us tonight. Let me start with you, Bernard. Give us your impression or just the highlight of events that played out today.
Felicity, thank you for having me to start with. What played out today basically is, I would say it's a spin-off or a rollover of everything that has been happening in the Edo State in the past 1 year, so to speak. Well, for those who have been following the political situation, you know that can we call him ex-deputy governor now, Philip Obaseki, and the current governor, basically have not exactly been in good terms. And then things got to, at some point it looked like it was getting better, but things got worse when we were getting towards the primaries, which, you know, New Central also covered and attended. And as it was getting to that point, it was almost clear that Philip Shuaibu was no longer the favorite son, because even in Edo State at that time, the billboards from the party, the People's Democratic Party, most of them did not carry Philip Shuaibu's face. So at some point, a lot of Edolites, as they are called, saw it as a fruitless battle that Obaseki was fighting up until the final day when the primaries were held. It clearly showed that Obaseki was no longer the favorite son. So what's happening now basically is just a manifestation and a conclusion, if you ask me, of everything that has been playing for the past 1 year. Coincidentally, I am from this state. I'm from Edo State, and it looks like he had fallen out of favor with the powers that be in the state. It's unfortunate that a sitting deputy governor, would have to go out this way, but unfortunately, it's the party politics that's been played in Nigeria. Also, one more thing, if you follow what has been happening in Edo State recently, and then some of the responses that Philip Shuaibu had on his account after he put out that statement, you'll see that, and also as I was told, there is zoning kind of politics going on in Edo State, like you have in other states as well. Adams Oshomole, the past governor, is from Edo North. The current governor, Godwin Obaseki, is from Edo South, and then they were expecting that the next coming governor will be from Edo Central. Unfortunately, Philip Shuaibu is from Edo North. So it looks like the odds were not in his favor for the governorship position to come from a place that already has, taken that seat before.
All right,
and that is maybe one of the reasons why we are here today.
I mean, you are there. How are the citizens receiving this? What are they telling you about this impeachment? Are they happy with the decision Obaseki has taken? And what do we know about this new deputy? Has he been in the political field for a while?
Well, aside from the new deputy, yes, he's been in the political field for a while, but he's not exactly been so known, so to speak. He's somebody who has been lurking around the corners. He's been in the corridors of I won't say of power, but I'll say of politics for quite a while. But there's still, so much to be known about him just yet. Not too much more than what you explained in your introduction. But concerning, what's going on in Edo State at the moment, just as it was during the primaries, you have the political class and then the citizens who basically just want to live their normal lives. The citizens basically just want things to go on steadily and swiftly and smoothly.
Bernard, I want to quickly clear something before we go to Jide. You will finish your thoughts. This Godwins, he was a candidate in Labour Party previously. We understand he was at the he tried to get into the House of Representatives. Is it known when he changed parties and became a member of the PDP?
Sorry, could you take that again, please? I didn't hear you clearly.
The new deputy governor, I'm asking that, I just need some confirmation from you. He was in Labour Party previously. I'm made to understand that now. And he participated, that's his flyer about being a House of Reps member. I'm asking, do you have any idea when he changed parties and allegiances to the PDP?
Felicity, I'll say, well, your surprise in this case is as good as mine. A good number of us saw this flyer, and I think at some point he was just favored by the PDP. I'm not sure when exactly he crossed carpets or changed parties to become part of PDP. I'm not sure if he had already been nursing the ambition, or if he was just handpicked for certain reasons. We'll find that out, in the next coming days. But it's so much a surprise to you as it is to me as well.
Well, let's get some analytical view as well to what you've given us already. Jide, this administration ends in a matter of months. What are people in your circles saying about the political expediency of this decision?
Well, thank you, Felicity. Happy holidays in advance. For me, I saw the political Waterloo of Felicity. I foresaw it long before it happened, because once it gets to the level that you lost the trust and confidence of your principal, then you are a goner. But what comes to me as a surprise is having to go for someone who canvassed for election under another party as his replacement, because this points in the direction of illegal tussle. Unless Marvelous Godwins is able to produce his resignation letter from Labour Party before his nomination, then it will be a sore point for his candidacy, because you cannot be in a different party and run on a joint ticket with a governor. But that's for the courts to decide. Suffice to say that this will further worsen the electoral fortune of PDP in Edo State. Like Akede, your colleague in Edo said, when you look at the number of seats won by APC in the last general election, it tells you where the pendulum of victory will likely swing in September. Out of the 3 senatorial districts, APC won 2 out of 3. So APC is in control of Edo Central and Edo North, where Adams Oshiomhole is the senator-elect. When you look at the number of APC members in the Edo State House of Assembly, it's very significant, as well as the number of House of Reps members. Now, the emergence of Asue Ighodalo as the preferred candidate of the governor, Godwin Obaseki, has also factionalized and caused disaffection within the PDP circle. So you now have Philip Shuaibu, who will most likely work against the interest of the party in September, unless they can find a political solution to curry his favor. And as things stand, I congratulate Omobayo Marvelous for not spying on him, because even if he's going to be there for 6 months or 9 months or 12 months, his name will go down in the annals of the history of Edo politics as being a former deputy governor.
All right,
So
I'm sorry to interject. And again, in the interest of time, I'd like to just ask you, how do you think this will impact on governance? There's already concern about the quality of and the impact of governance under the governor. Do you think maybe this infusion of new blood will help improve the quality that the people get from the governor?
For me, Felicity, I don't know what Marvelous will bring to bear on governance in Edo State. Suffice to say that he will make his own people in Akoko Edo very happy. They have been kind of marginalization all this while, given the fact that Akoko Edo and the Esako people and Afemai people are in the Edo North, and Esako has been dominating the politics of Edo North. For instance, Adams Oshiomhole is Esako man, Philip Shuaibu is Esako, and quite a number of political heavyweights are from Esako. So this will boost the morale and give the people of Akoko Edo sense of integration, sense of inclusion. But in terms of impact that the nomination and the emergence of Marvelous Omobayo will have, don't forget there's no constitutional role for a deputy governor. It serves at the pleasure of the governor. Whatever the governor asks him to do is what he will do. However, the governor decides to fund his office is what he will, that's the amount of budget he will likely control. So the most important thing is for his loyalty not to be doubted. It's been
loyalty in our political space seems to be more important than the actual work of governance in recent times. Thank you very much, Jide and Bernard, for speaking with us. We appreciate your time.
It's my pleasure. Enjoy your holiday.
You too, sir. Let's talk security matters now. Members of the United Church of Christ in Nigeria, located in Kaura local government area of Kaduna State, abducted during a wedding ceremony almost 3 months ago on the 23rd of December 2023, have been released. Marvelous Obomanu tells us more.
Kaduna State has been on the news recently owing to the abduction of school children in Kuriga, which has continued to raise questions over the level of insecurity in the state. On the 23rd of December 2023, over 50 members of the Hekan Church, Kara local government area of the state, were kidnapped by armed bandits within the church premises while attending a wedding reception. After 3 months of waiting, the victims finally regained their freedom, though one died in the hands of the kidnappers. The president of the church, Amos Kiri, while celebrating the release of the church members at the Hekan headquarters in Kaduna, described the activities of armed bandits, especially in Nigeria's northern region, as a tragic and sorry situation.
They have taken about over 50 of our members, even though some of them escaped. But we have lost one instantly during the issue of kidnap. He was shot dead. We have also lost another one. The process when they were released and they were coming, the other one died. And so many have suffered degree of injuries, and it has affected them.
Nigeria, that is supposed to be one of the greatest nations in the world, is today struggling. People cannot go to sleep. People cannot do their businesses in peace. Farmers have to desert their farms, which perpetuates and increases hunger.
He urged President Bola Tinubu to provide modern-day security equipment to help security agencies tackle insecurity in the country.
Lots needs to be done. The security men and women, all the security apparatus in this country need to synergize if we must overcome this monster. I plead with them to put aside competition. Let them work together in order to salvage this country.
The clerics frowned at some religious leaders who preach and promote violence in the name of religion and called on citizens to join the war against insecurity. In Abuja for News Central, Marvelous Oboman.
Gunmen dressed in military uniform has taken away the Rivers State governorship candidate of the National Rescue Movement in the 2023 general election, Sobomabo Jackridge, at his residence in the Kema local government area of the state. Also, it was gathered that two of his loyalists found when his residence was raided around 3 a.m. on Monday were shot dead by the assailants, and their remains were taken away along with Jackridge. However, the police, while confirming that Jackridge was not abducted, said he was arrested by another security agency. Jackridge was a former militant leader who embraced amnesty during the tenure of late President Umar Yar'Adua. Coming up, Central Bank of Nigeria's governor sacks 8 directors. We'll tell you more after the break. If you've just joined us, you're watching Tonight. A reminder of our top stories. New Edo State Deputy Governor sworn in. Kidnapped Kaduna worshippers regain freedom after 3 months in captivity. Central Bank Governor sacks 8 directors, 32 others. Senegal's Prime Minister Sonko officially takes office. Now, let's tell you that the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Yemi Cardoso, has sacked a fresh batch of 40 staff, mostly from the Development Finance Department, in furtherance of its ongoing restructuring. Deputy directors and assistant directors were mostly affected, with 22 from the Development Finance Department and the remaining 18 from the Medicals and Procurement Services Department. Amongst those affected were 8 directors, 10 deputy directors, 5 assistant directors, 2 principal managers, and 2 senior managers. With the latest number of affected staff, the total has now reached 67. Recall that less than 27 members of staff, most of them directors at the Central Bank of Nigeria, were affected by the first batch of dismissals. The Lagos State Special Offences Court has ordered the remand of former Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele to the custody of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on charges of abuse of office. Justice Roman Oshodi issued the remand order following Emefiele's arraignment alongside his co-defendant Henry Omoile on a 26-count charge related to abuse of office. During the proceedings, Emefiele's lawyer Abdulakim Ladi Lawal sought bail for his client on self-recognition or the most lenient terms possible. He urged the courts to consider granting bail based on similar terms previously approved by other courts. And on the rising cost of living, human rights lawyer Femi Falana says the federal government, through the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NEC, plans to extend the electricity tariff hike beyond Band A consumers to other Nigerians categorized under other bands. Falana said the recent tariff increase for Band A consumers by the government cannot be justified under the Electricity Act 2023. He threatened to approach the courts to seek redress for Nigerians. The senior advocate of Nigeria argued that the federal government had already removed electricity subsidy in 2022, and so the government, by the new tariff hike, is making Nigerians pay for the inefficiency and profligacy of those managing the electricity sector. To discuss this, I'm joined by legal practitioner and public affairs analyst Tunji Abdulhamid. Tunji, it's good to have you on the news. Senior advocate of Nigeria, we know him well for speaking up on issues like this, and he is saying that NEC plans to extend this tariff hike beyond Band A consumers to other categories. Already, there was wrongful billing in Abuja, if I'm correct, on this same system. What's your assessment of the possibility that the SAN is right?
Good evening, Felicity, and thank you for having me. I align myself with the position of the journalistic, and I want to also submit that the increase in tariff at this time is insensitive to Nigerians' masses. And as far as I'm concerned, even the classification into Band A, Band B, Band C, Band D, Band E is discriminatory as far as I'm concerned. We cannot at this point, when people are still wriggling out of we are still finding our way out of the impact or the consequences of the removal of subsidy, and then the floating of naira. The effect is still on us, and we are still battling out of it. We don't know how to go out of it. Even the government has not been able to provide answer as to how to escape this the hardship created by this removal of subsidy. And at this time, the government is also increasing the tariff. This tariff we are talking about, as far as I also know, just like the journalist said, we were told in 2022, just like said that tariff is gone in electricity, and yet again we are removing the subsidy from tariff from electricity again. How many times are we going to remove this? This has become pattern in our system. I remember in 2015 when the President Buhari came into power, he talked about removal of subsidy, and that was why fuel was increased from 86 naira or so to 145 naira. And then after again we are talking about subsidy this time around again. So I don't know. The government has said, look, the electricity regime has been dismantled, and DISCO are now in charge. I don't know why the government is still interested in ensuring that, look, all the investment they are supposed to do that are not doing, they will be the one to get money for them and help them out in this circumstance. This is creating hardship to the Nigerians, and I am not in support of that. You see, the government is insensitive, and I said it's discriminatory in the sense that when you look at the classification of Band A, Band B, Band C, Band E, it has nothing to do with people not inability to pay. It has to do with people who consider to be rich. In other words, those areas classified as Band A are people who they believe they have money and they are living in and they have the capacity.
But the senior advocate of Nigeria agrees with you. I mean, you seem to align with his argument substantially. And there's something else he said I'd like you to speak on. He says that the government is trying to raise funds for a cash-strapped electricity distribution, electricity distribution companies. That's the DISCOs. Do you agree that Nigerians are being made to pay for inefficiency? That's the word that's been used for those managing the electricity sector.
On what basis will Nigeria be raising money for funds for a private business? This DISCOs, we are told they are private business entities, and they are supposed to bring the fund to provide the capacity to provide the electricity that we needed. If they don't have the capacity, let them give the service to another person who has the capacity. So, taxing Nigerians to be able to get money for the DISCO to operate, for me, I think it's not good at all. That is not the way to run a government. A government is not in place to make people suffer. Government is there to protect the citizen. By Section 14(2)(b), the duty of the government is to ensure that the welfare of the citizens are adequately taken care of. Then what the government is doing here now is to encourage private business, support private business at the expense of the convenience of Nigerian citizens. That is not the way to go.
Falana is threatening to go to court.
To do your business, you go and look for money elsewhere, and you do your business.
Falana is threatening to go to court to seek redress for Nigerians. We're familiar with efforts from groups like SERAP suing the federal government on behalf of citizens. What, in your view, can the courts do in this matter now?
Yeah, for me, like I said, if I were to be I'm also interested in filing a case against the government and the discourse. If I am, because I see those classification of those in class E as discrimination. No Nigeria is more bigger than any Nigeria. We are all Nigerians and we are all equal. Nobody is second-class citizen. Nobody is third-class citizen. Nobody is fourth-class citizen. By that classification, I see those people that have been classified as class E, class B, class C, or whatever, that will not be able to, because by that classification, what we are told is that those in class A, band A will have 20 hours electricity. Band B, we have 16 hours. Band C, 8 hours. Those in band E will be given 4 hours. What are we talking about? Are we saying some people are more Nigerian than others? Who are those in band A? Are they not Nigeria, but Nigerians? Are those in band E? Are they not in Nigeria? Are they not entitled to supply of electricity in their own?
You raise very important points. I'm hoping that we can get some resolution in the coming days. We hope that the government will listen to the complaints being put forward. I'm afraid we'll have to leave it there for now. Thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure to be with you. Thank you.
Many residents in Plateau State, North Central Nigeria, are weighing the administration of Governor Caleb Mutfwang and seem not displeased. These residents spoke during an interview with News Central's Chizoba Anyowe in Jos after the Time Is Now Accountability Forum organized in the state capital. Her report.
This is the second edition of the Time Is Now Accountability Forum, put together by the Office of the Director General, Research and Documentation at the State Governor's Office. The program is aimed at monitoring activities of ministries, departments and agencies as a way of gauging their deliveries in line with the expectations of citizens. Among the heads of these MDAs who spoke at the event, they say nothing is left to chance, as they will continue on the roadmap to further bring dividends of democracy to the people of Plateau State.
To reform the entire laws of Plateau State that are already derelict, they are already obsolete. We are still using 1964 laws in Plateau State. We are still using 1950-something laws in Plateau State. In the southern zone, we are still using edicts of 1959. We can't be in the 21st century, and so we restructured our law.
The recruitment in the higher institutions had to be cancelled and to be done all over. Adverts are out, and we are waiting to do a proper recruitment because the other recruitment did not follow due process.
If we conclude on what we are doing, the hub of entertainment, the hub of business, the hub of what you can think of in terms of entertainment and in terms of business will be Plateau in the whole world.
While many people seem to be comfortable with the administration of Governor Mutfwang, they pray their hope is not dashed in his continued dispensation of good governance.
In terms of empowerment, in terms of security, in terms of infrastructure, road network all over, in terms of is bringing more transportation. Very, very soon the railway will start working.
Well, I would say that the state government is doing well. They are doing wonderfully well. The man started good from various ministries. You can see them working, improving on so many things. I only encourage them to continue with this pace.
It is barely 1 month to Caleb Mutfwang's 1 year in office, just like most state governors in Nigeria. Citizens of the state are watching and waiting to see how the governor continues on the promises of good governance he made while campaigning for votes. In Jos for News Central, Chizoba Anyonwi.
Many thanks, Chizoba. Let's move to health matters now. At least 60 American-based medical doctors are in Umuahia, the Abia State capital, offering free Medicare to the residents. The doctors, under the aegis of Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, are in the state to provide quality healthcare services to the less privileged who have health challenges. News Center's Chinwe Ugele reports.
The people had come from different parts of the state to benefit from the medical mission provided by the Nigerian-born doctors resident in the Americas. Most of the people already know what they are suffering from, but lack the resources to carry the financial implications of the medical services they would receive.
We're here to give service to the indigents of those who are unable to afford quality and accessible health care.
At least the body will be taken away and the woman will be free.
I'm looking for money. I pray that God will favor me for this free medical surgery.
It will take us about, I think, 150,000 to 200,000. So it's only the test that we have been able to carry it out.
The young, the old, all have gathered at the 5 locations in Umuahia, the Abia State capital, for different ailments to be attended to by these professionals.
We hope to be able to achieve our goal and to create quality care for the numerous people who have been recruited from all over the state within the various LGAs.
Then to achieve all the objectives set out for the week so that Abians will be better for it.
We brought in doctors of various caliber. One of them is here. Dr. Chine Logan, the guy on the right, is a neurosurgeon, and we are going to do a few of those. We have cardiologists, we have urologists, we have general surgeons, we have everybody here. So, and our mission in Empire is a healthier Nigeria in a healthier world.
Abia State government says it has earmarked about 200 million naira to make the program a success.
We started this mission actually since last year, and Abba was gracious enough to join this part of our work. We look at this as an extension of what we already started, and we are very, very grateful. They didn't come empty-handed.
The opportunity provided by this medical mission has brought so many people beyond the number that was targeted in this exercise. In Umuahia for News Central, Chinwe Ugele.
Still ahead, Senegal's Prime Minister Sonko officially takes office. We'll have details for you after the break. Join us again. Thank you for staying with us. The news continues in West Africa, where Ousmane Sonko, Senegal's new prime minister and former opposition leader, officially took office less than a month after being released from prison. Both Sonko and Senegal's new president, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, were released from prison around 10 days before the March 24 presidential election, which Faye went on to win. Sonko spearheaded Senegal's anti-establishment movement, but endorsed Faye on the presidential ballot after he was barred from running himself due to a defamation conviction.
Venu procéder à la transmission de cette lourde responsabilité entre le Premier ministre sortant, M. Sidiki Kaba, et moi-même. C'est une passation qui s'est passée dans de très bonnes conditions et qui nous permet à partir de cet instant de commencer à exercer la responsabilité qui nous a été confiée.
Let's join our business desk for today's business news.
Business news in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
On Business Tonight, Nigeria is set to receive the balance of $1.05 billion from a $3.3 billion Afreximbank loan backed by oil reserves by the end of May, aiming to rejuvenate the economy and enhance the availability of foreign currency in the domestic exchange market. The Senior Executive Vice President for Finance, Administration and Banking at Afreximbank, Denise Denya, said the bank has verified the crude availability and would receive the balance next month. The amount is the balance of a $3.3 billion prepayment scheme planned by the African Export-Import Bank, which will be repaid through crude oil shipments from the National Petroleum Company. The NPCL explained earlier that the loan will be used to shore up the foreign exchange reserve and provides a more urgent solution to the country's FX challenges. Moving on now, the Egyptian firms affiliated to the National Bank of Egypt, Bank Misr and Bank Dokare, have collected FX equivalent to 11.915 billion Egyptian pounds in foreign currencies since March 6 until April 7, according to recent data on Monday. Al Ali Exchange Company has collected a foreign exchange amount equivalent to 6.6 billion pounds following the central bank's decisions. Misri Exchange Firm has received an amount equaling 4.76 billion pounds in foreign currency since the exchange rate liberalization, including FX equaling 260 million pounds, which was received yesterday. The Central Bank of Egypt's Monetary Policy Committee increased deposit and lending rates by 600 basis points to 27.25% and 28.25% respectively on March 6. And now, Ethiopia has given the green light for a wide array of policy adjustments to attract startups in the latest reforms aimed at opening up the once socialist economy to foreign investment. Ethiopian Capital Markets Authority Director General Brooke Taye said in an interview that the changes include removing a 30% capital gains tax on share transfers and new share issuance, the freedom to retain all foreign currency earned from service exports, and introducing both tax incentives and tax holidays. In recent years, the nation has seen a surge in startups such as Ride, a taxi-hailing company that has expanded into neighboring Djibouti, digital payment solutions provider like Arif Pay and Cubic, which converts hard-to-recycle plastic waste into low-carbon, low-cost building materials. And that's it on Business News. Do stay with us. There's still more to come. I am Lekon Onobanjo.
Business News in association with Money Master PSB, the easy way to master your money.
Up next is sports with Babatunde Koiki.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile.
Hello and welcome to Sports. Nigeria's under-15 national team, also known as the Future Eagles, will no longer participate at the UEFA Under-16 Development Tournament scheduled to begin on Friday. The team had been scheduled to fly out to Spain for the tournament on Tuesday afternoon. The team had received a special invitation to the European tournament due to Nigeria's record in youth football. According to the Nigeria Football Federation on its X handle, the entire team, including players and officials, were denied visas by the Spanish embassy. The Future Eagles had been in training for the last 1 week at the Remo Stars Sports Institute in Ikenne, during which they played 2 matches against the Remo Stars Under-16 boys Beyond Limits FC, winning one and losing the other. The team had been drawn against Belgium, Italy and England. Last month, the team had embarked on a 2-match playing tour of Morocco, where they won 1 match and lost the other. And ahead of the crucial 2024 Olympic qualifying second leg match between Nigeria and South Africa, both teams' managers have been speaking ahead of the crucial tie. Bayana coach Desiree Ellis believes her side can perform better than they did in the 1-0 first leg defeat in Abuja and will be targeting an early goal to put pressure on the Super Falcons. Ellis admits the challenge won't be easy, but insists her players know what's at stake as they seek to overturn the deficit. On his part, Super Falcons coach Randy Waldrum has declared Nigeria as the best team in Africa on the back of the first leg win, and he confirmed that he had a fully fit squad with no injury concerns. Team captain Rasheedat Ajibade also expressed her excitement about the prospect of reaching the Olympics, stressing her team must finish the job.
If we perform better than we did at home, or as much as we did at home, I think we'll have a day, so no pressures at all.
South Africa is obviously one of the best teams in Africa as well, and I think all of our players know what they're capable of and respect them. But we feel like we're the best team in Africa, and I think we showed that at home, how we can show our dominance, and we need to just do it one more time. No real injury worries to be concerned with. I think everybody's healthy for the most part, so I think we're in a good place going into it.
And finally on sports, the company managing the Eiffel Tower and the organizing committee of the 2024 Paris Olympic Games have announced that the Olympic rings will be displayed on the monument during the Paris Olympics. The 5 rings representing the 5 continents and the universal nature of sport will be installed in the next few weeks on the side of the world-famous edifice that faces the River Seine. The Olympics will begin on the 26th of July with an unprecedented opening ceremony on the Seine. Instead of parading through the athletic stadium at the start of the games, teams are set to sail down the Seine on a flotilla of boats in front of up to 500,000 spectators. And that's all we have on sports. It's entertainment up next with Jadel Simon.
Sports Update, brought to you by Corn Oil. Corn Oil, we go the extra mile. Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
Senegalese-American artist Akon has hailed Ghanaian sensation Black Sherif as the voice of the African continent. During an interview, Akon expressed admiration for Black Sherif's authenticity and raw energy, comparing it to his own early career experiences. He recounted discovering Black Sherif's music through a friend and was immediately captivated by the genuine emotion and struggle in his lyrics. Akon emphasized the importance for major labels to recognize Black Sherif's talent and expressed interest in collaborating with him. The influential music figure, known for hits like Locked Up, sees Black Sherif as a rising star who embodies the voice of the African youth. And now, Jonathan Majors, the actor known for his role as Kang the Conqueror in Marvel's film, has been sentenced to complete a 52-week domestic violence intervention program following his conviction for assault and harassment. Majors, who faced charges after an altercation with a woman resulting in injuries, was spared jail time. Instead, Justice Michael Gaffey ordered him to continue mental health therapy and attend the program in Los Angeles. Despite Majors' denial of the allegations, the court found him guilty, leading to his departure from Marvel franchise. Quite an interesting time in the life of Jonathan Majors, but that's all we can take on entertainment tonight. We'll take a short break, and when we're back, we'll bring you the updates on what's trending tonight.
Entertainment news in association with Glow Unlimited.
Moving away from entertainment news, today the Nigerian Navy takes the center stage in the latest trending stories. Due to an ongoing issue involving the late Richard Onumegbu, a civilian employee of the Nigerian Navy identified as Richard Onumegbu, who served in Ojo, Lagos for 15 years, allegedly faced assault by 4 naval officers following a dispute with a woman. Tragically, he returns to work the next day only to pass away while on duty. The incident involving Richard Onumegbu has sparked widespread concerns amongst citizens, with many calling on the government to intervene and prevent the military from engaging in civilian matters. Today on the streets of Lagos, Nigerians openly expressed their opinions regarding the military's engagement in civilian affairs. Let us listen to them.
The military should definitely not be involved in civilian matters because we live in a democratic rule, first things first. And when you use the military to threaten people, it becomes terrible. Terrible things happen. That's what I personally think. And you should not use the military to threaten people because, like I said earlier, we live in a democratic rule, and the military should. That's why they're in the barracks.
Nigerians on social media, of course, had reactions to this story. Let us take some of those reactions on X. Ugo is saying lawlessness in Nigeria is uncountable. Law enforcement personnel that is supposed to enforce the law, they are the law breakers. We have another tweet from Begotten Son saying these Navy officers should be dismissed and charged to court. At least a minimum sentence should be life in prison for them. For the lady, she needs to serve 20 years in prison. She's talking about the lady who actually called the naval officers on the late Richard. We have another one from Tuo's company. I pray that the government gets to the bottom of this case and set an example for the entire people, regardless your personality, that no one is above the law and all lives matter. Indeed, all lives do matter. But that's all we'll take tonight on What's Trending. You can share your thoughts across our social media platforms at News Central TV. I am Jadel Simon.
And that's how we wrap things up tonight. But before we go, let's take another look at some of the major stories. New Edo State Deputy Governor has been sworn in. Kidnapped Kaduna worshippers have regained freedom after 3 months in captivity. Central Bank Governor has sacked 8 directors and 32 others. We also brought you news that Senegal's Prime Minister Sonko has officially taken office. Would like to hear from you. Please send your eyewitness reports to the numbers showing now on your screen. You can also follow us on social media for that at News Central TV. You can watch live on DSTV channel 422, Star Times channel 274, Avo TV, and on YouTube. As always, thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.